Let me tell y'all something. There is nothing more powerful than a woman who finally decides, you know what? I choose me. See, life will have you out here bending, breaking, and sacrificing for everybody else. You'll give your time, your energy, your love, sometimes to folks who don't even deserve it. You'll be the one making sure everybody eats, everybody's happy, everybody's good. But let me ask you, who's making sure? A woman who chooses herself is a woman who has finally figured out that she is the prize. That doesn't mean she's selfish. It means she's done being second to everybody else. It means she's done apologizing for wanting more, done waiting for permission to be happy, done playing small so other people can feel big. You ever notice that when a woman starts loving herself, people get uncomfortable? When she starts setting boundaries, folks start acting funny. That's because some people only like you when you're convenient for them. But let me tell you something. Convenience ain't love. A woman who chooses herself is unstoppable. She walks different, talks different. She don't beg nobody to see her worth because she already knows it. She don't waste time on situations that don't serve her because she understands that her time is valuable. And let's be clear, choosing yourself doesn't mean you don't love your family, your kids, your man, your friends. No, no, no. It just means you're not pouring from an empty cup anymore. It means you're putting you on the list of people you take care of. So to every woman in this room listening to this right now, this is your sign. Stop waiting for somebody to come save you. Stop waiting for the perfect moment to take care of you. Stop feeling guilty for wanting peace, success, and happiness. Go after your dreams. Say no without guilt. Walk away from what drains you. Love yourself so loudly that nobody ever questions how you should be treated again. Because a woman who chooses herself, she don't lose, she wins. And that's the kind of woman the world can't stop watching. Thank you. Choosing yourself is not selfish, it's necessary. This is something too many people, especially women, struggle to accept. Society has conditioned women to believe that their value is measured by how much they give to others, how much they sacrifice, how much they endure, how much they tolerate. From an early age, women are taught to take care of everybody else first. They are raised to be nurturers, fixers, and caregivers. And while there is beauty in being loving and supportive, it often comes at the cost of their own well-being. When a woman constantly puts everyone else ahead of herself, she slowly loses pieces of who she is. She stops prioritizing her dreams, her happiness, and her peace. She learns to shrink herself to fit into roles that exhaust her. She will say yes when she wants to say no. She will show up for people who wouldn't even cross the street for her. She will keep giving and giving, believing that one day someone will pour into her the way she pours into everyone else. But the truth is, when you don't choose yourself, life has a way of draining you dry. Women who prioritize themselves are often labeled as selfish, difficult, or even ungrateful. The world doesn't always respond kindly to a woman who decides to put herself first. People who have benefited from her self-sacrifice will make her feel guilty for finally drawing boundaries. They will question why she's changed, why she's no longer available on demand, why she no longer tolerates what she used to. But the reality is, choosing yourself is not an act of neglect toward others. It's an act of love toward yourself. It is understanding that you cannot give your best to anyone if you are constantly running on empty. Think about a car. You don't expect a car to keep running without gas. You don't keep driving it without maintenance and oil changes. Eventually it will break down. The same applies to people. You cannot keep giving without taking the time to refuel yourself. You cannot keep pouring into others when you are depleted. A woman who doesn't choose herself eventually becomes tired, bitter, and resentful because she realizes that the people she gave so much to will never return that same energy. And that's not their fault. It's hers for not demanding better. Choosing yourself means understanding that self-care is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's about listening to your own needs and not feeling guilty for prioritizing them. It means giving yourself the same love, patience, and grace that you give to others. It means knowing that saying no does not make you a bad person, it makes you a person with standards. It means walking away from things that no longer serve you without feeling like you owe anyone an explanation. Too often, women stay in situations that drain them because they are afraid of being judged. They stay in toxic relationships because they don't want to be seen as disloyal. They stay in unfulfilling jobs because they don't want to disappoint others. They keep toxic friendships because they don't want to seem rude. But at what cost? At what point does a woman stop living for everyone else and start living for herself? A woman who chooses herself understands that she is responsible for her own happiness. She stops waiting for someone else to give her permission to be happy. She stops waiting for someone to save her, validate her, or appreciate her. She realizes that she is more than enough on her own, and she no longer needs external approval to confirm that. This kind of woman does not allow guilt to dictate her choices. She understands that she is not obligated to be everything for everyone. She knows that her worth is not tied to how much she suffers for others. She is confident enough to take up space without apologizing for it. Choosing yourself doesn't mean you don't care about others. It means you refuse to neglect yourself in the process. It means you recognize your value and refuse to accept anything less than what you deserve. It means you are brave enough to let go of anything that drains your energy, your peace, or your joy. And most importantly, it means you love yourself enough to demand better. People who benefit from your self-sacrifice may not like your self-respect. This is one of the hardest truths to accept when you finally start setting boundaries and prioritizing yourself. There are people in your life who have gotten used to the version of you that always says yes, always shows up, always puts their needs before your own. They have become comfortable with your sacrifices, and the moment you decide to stop overextending yourself, they will be the first ones to make you feel guilty for it. This is because some people only respect you as long as you are convenient for them. They are perfectly fine with you being exhausted, overworked, and emotionally drained as long as it benefits them. The moment you start choosing yourself, setting limits, and refusing to tolerate mistreatment, they will accuse you of changing. And they are right. You have changed. You have grown. You have realized that your worth is not measured by how much you tolerate. You have learned that self-respect requires you to stop allowing people to take advantage of your kindness. Some relationships, whether romantic, familial, or friendships, thrive on one-sided giving. There are people who expect you to always be there for them, even when they are never there for you. They call you when they need something, but when you need them, they suddenly disappear. They expect you to always be available, but when you need support, they have every excuse in the world. These are the same people who will call you selfish the moment you start protecting your time and energy. This is when you realize that not everyone in your life is truly for you. Some people are only for what they can get from you. They don't love you. They love what you do for them. They love the version of you that bends over backward to make their life easier. The version of you that never complains, never says no, never demands anything in return. But the moment you start enforcing boundaries, they will try to make you feel like you are doing something wrong. They will say you have changed in a negative way because your growth threatens their control. When you finally start respecting yourself, you will see who genuinely values you and who was just using you. The ones who truly care about you will respect your boundaries. They will understand that you have needs too, that you are not just here to serve others at the expense of your well-being. The ones who only valued what you could do for them will react with resistance. They will try to guilt trip you, manipulate you, or make you feel like you are wrong for choosing yourself. This is the test. This is the moment when you have to decide whether you will go back to being a people pleaser or stand firm in your self-respect. It is not easy to break old habits, especially when you have spent years putting others first. It is not easy to say no when you are used to saying yes out of obligation. But every time you choose yourself, you reinforce your own worth. Every time you refuse to tolerate disrespect, you set a new standard for how you will be treated. People who are used to you sacrificing yourself for them will act as if you are betraying them. They will act as if you no longer care about them simply because you are no longer allowing yourself to be drained by them. But understand this, respect is not about making others happy at the cost of your own peace. It is about ensuring that the relationships in your life are balanced, that your energy is not being taken for granted, and that you are not being used as an emotional dumping ground. There will always be people who try to convince you that you are wrong for wanting better for yourself. They will say things like, you used to be so nice, or you're acting different, as if choosing yourself is a crime. They will try to remind you of the version of yourself that served them, that tolerated mistreatment, that never spoke up. But you have to remind yourself that growth is necessary. You are not the same person you were before because you have learned better. You have learned that you deserve respect, and anyone who cannot accept that does not deserve a seat at your table. When you start respecting yourself, your circle may get smaller. Some people will walk away because they can no longer manipulate or control you. Others will try to convince you to go back to the old version of yourself because that version was easier for them to handle. But the right people, the ones who truly care about you, will support your growth. They will celebrate your boundaries, not resent them. They will uplift you instead of trying to bring you back down to a place where you are constantly exhausted and undervalued. This is why self-respect is one of the greatest filters in life. It reveals who is really in your corner and who is only there for convenience. It shows you who truly values you and who only valued what you provided. And once you see the difference, you can never unsee it. A woman who knows her worth stops waiting, she starts winning. Too often, women are conditioned to wait. Wait for the right moment. Wait for approval. Wait for someone to tell them they are good enough. They are taught to seek validation from others, to look for permission before making decisions, to hesitate before stepping into their power. But the truth is, the moment a woman realizes her worth, she stops waiting. She stops waiting for love from someone who doesn't appreciate her, stops waiting for opportunities to be handed to her, stops waiting for the world to recognize what she already knows. She is valuable, she is capable, and she is enough. When a woman doesn't know her worth, she settles. She tolerates things she should walk away from. She stays in relationships that drain her because she believes she has to earn love. She remains in spaces where she is unappreciated because she thinks that is the best she can get. She downplays her achievements because she doesn't want to seem arrogant. She lowers her standards to make others comfortable. She puts her dreams on hold because she has been told that other things, family, relationships, obligations, come first. But when a woman truly understands her worth, everything changes. She no longer begs for attention, validation, or respect. She no longer tries to prove herself to people who cannot see her value. She no longer waits for someone else to tell her she is worthy. She decides that for herself. And when she makes that decision, she starts moving differently. She stops second-guessing herself and starts taking action. She speaks up instead of staying silent. She asks for what she wants instead of hoping someone will notice her efforts. She goes after her dreams with confidence because she knows she deserves to have everything she desires. A woman who knows her worth does not chase, she attracts. She understands that real love, real respect, real opportunities come to those who carry themselves with confidence. She does not waste time on people who do not see her value because she knows that the right people will. She does not cling to relationships that drain her because she understands that true love does not require suffering. She does not remain in environments that stifle her growth because she recognizes that she was meant for more. This kind of woman does not fear being alone because she knows that her own company is valuable. She does not tolerate mistreatment just to avoid loneliness. She does not shrink herself to fit into places she has outgrown. She is no longer afraid to walk away from what does not serve her because she trusts that better things are ahead. She understands that settling is a form of self-betrayal, and she refuses to betray herself any longer. She also understands that success is not something she has to wait for. It is something she can create. She does not sit around hoping for opportunities to appear. She makes them happen. She does not wait for the perfect conditions to start. She starts where she is with what she has. She does not let fear hold her back because she knows that fear is just a sign that she is stepping into something greater. A woman who knows her worth is unstoppable. She no longer tolerates disrespect, whether it's in her relationships, her career, or her personal life. She holds herself to a higher standard and expects others to do the same. She sets boundaries without guilt, knowing that protecting her peace is not selfish, it is necessary. She surrounds herself with people who uplift her, people who inspire her, people who remind her of her strength. She does not seek approval because she knows that not everyone will understand her journey, and that's okay. She is not here to please everyone. She is here to live fully, to love deeply, to succeed unapologetically. She is here to take up space, to use her voice, to demand what she deserves. There will always be people who doubt her, people who try to bring her down, people who tell her she is asking for too much. But she does not let that stop her. She knows that the opinions of others do not define her worth. She knows that her dreams are valid, her goals are achievable, and her happiness is within her control. This kind of woman wins because she no longer waits for life to happen to her. She makes life happen for her. She does not sit on the sidelines watching others live boldly while she remains stuck in hesitation. She steps forward with confidence, knowing that she is worthy of every good thing that comes her way. She embraces challenges as opportunities to grow, refuses to let setbacks define her, and keeps moving forward with determination. She stops waiting to be chosen because she has already chosen herself. She stops waiting for someone else to see her potential because she sees it in herself. She stops waiting for the right moment because she understands that the right moment is the one she creates. She steps into her power, knowing that she is capable of achieving greatness. She stops waiting, and that is when she truly starts winning.